body. Hey there.
Well, friends, it appears John has dealt with the AI threat that was infiltrating his household, but now he finds himself alone in the dark, naked and hairless, far from where it all started. And oh rats, the screaming, the horrible screaming of the lands are back. This return of the curse can only mean one thing. A region lock challenge is imminent. The only way John knew to calm the voices was to get into city limits, so John started making towards the lights of Saint Denis off in the distance. He walked, and the screams got louder and louder, but then, as he crossed into city limits, silence.
Oh, this is like plum crazy.
Christ.
Seeking warmth, he ducked into the first building he could enter. And inside, he met an odd man who confessed to be able to hear the curse as well. He explained to John that capitalism and consumerism was the only way to break the curse. Well, and also a little bit of fashion. But he was sure of it, and he himself has been trying to break the curse by assembling various fashionable hats, but hasn't been able to succeed yet. But John knew better. A mere hat, no matter how fancy, was simply just not enough to end the voices. If he was going to be able to walk out of Saint Denis unscathed, it was going to take a remarkable feat of consumerism to do so. The next morning, Mr. Wasp gave John a cloth to hide his shame, before John ventured forth on this region-locked adventure.
Monsieur. Mais bonjour.
The first thing John needs to do to size up this challenge is to wander over to the tailor to see how much clothing will cost. And while he walks is a perfect time to explain some of the other rules of this experience. The fight with the AI not only costs John his hair and clothing, but also all of his money, provisions, weapons, and ammunition. So he is going to need to start over from nothing except an odd man's loincloth. I've enabled the humidity and temperature overhaul mod. This will cause John's cores to drain if he gets too cold, but in such a warm climate, it may not be as brutal compared to some of the other colder biomes. But being naked, there will probably be an effect, and I'll take whatever challenge it does add. And the last time I did this similar challenge in Valentine, I did so without committing crimes. However, this time around, I'm allowing John to be more of a scoundrel. What this means is that I can commit crimes, but I'm not allowed to kill anyone. And as a punishment, if John does kill anyone, the disgust will make him start to vomit. A horrible Technicolor yawn, which will result in John losing half of his cash. And just to crank that difficulty knob one more click, if John dies for any reason, that too will result in losing half of his cash. But it looks like he has nakedly made his way to the tailor and—
Mind your step.
Sorry, mister. My mistake.
Well, I'm not sure which pocket that man picked, and nor do I want to know. But it looks like I can't shop at the tailor until I resolve this situation.
Give it up, stupid bastard.
All right. Damn it.
Let's go.
You got me. Here.
Cool. He gave me back the nothing he stole from me. But since we're talking about John's pockets, I should mention that I'm playing with the clean epilogue save I made where I did no random NPC events, and nor did I upgrade anything during the main story playthrough. So at this point, John's satchel is at the lowest level that holds the least amount of items, and this will be relevant later. But we're back at the tailor, and now we can peruse. The most expensive outfit is this one at $115, but do you think that is enough consumerism for this challenge? I didn't think so. What John is actually going to do is purchase the most expensive piece of clothing and accessory for each category to build his own glorious outfit. Combining all the most expensive pieces tallies up to $165.75. Much better. And the way this is going to work is that I wrote another mod to assist in building the outfit. That mod will pick which piece of clothing John must buy next and chooses a random color variant for him. But that mod is also a bit of a dick, so it won't even tell John what he is buying next until he has enough money to buy the predetermined piece of clothing. But now that we know how much cash we need to raise, it's time to go get earning. I have my own custom survival mod also in play, and that mod drains my health core several times a day and can cause death if I don't refill it. I'm not aware of a bottomless jar of pickled eggs in Saint Denis to abuse like I did in Valentine, but even if there was, I still want to be self-sufficient this time around. So my first order of business was to go hunting and get a food stockpile started. So I headed out into the scant wilderness around the Saint Denis city limits to see if I could scrounge up some food via hunting. I made it to the end of town and started looking for food, but I wasn't paying attention and wandered past the city limit. Which reminded me that I wrote yet another mod for this playthrough, which will immediately deplete John's stamina core and quickly kill him if he leaves the Saint Denis city limits. But it didn't get him this time. Now, as much as I would have liked to have kicked that boar to death for being a nuisance, without a knife I wouldn't even be able to skin and butcher it, so I let it go. What I need to find are small animals to stomp that fit into John's mystery pocket and don't require a knife to skin. You know, frogs and such. But finding some critters to crush wasn't something that happened before John learned about his own place on the food chain. So a feature of my survival mod is that a red health core will actively drain John's hit points. So respawning with everything in the red meant I was going to die in a matter of minutes. But as I hadn't accumulated any wealth yet, I didn't care. So my plan was just to try to acquire food and then not eat it, and then die and do this again and again a few times until I had a nice cache of meals. The first attempt I punted a chicken and set off looking for a fire on which to roast it. But I didn't make it to the flames in time. On the next life, I found a fish which wasn't able to be turned into a meal before dying nakedly in front of some of Guido Martelli's men. But then on the next hunt, something incredible happened. John was locked in on a muskrat that he was going to kick the shit out of and managed to dual punt both the muskrat and a sandhill crane. And much to my surprise, both the muskrat and the crane could be butchered without needing a knife. So outside of the alligators, which I can't kill or butcher, large birds are the most common type of animals to hunt within the city limits. And while it was convenient that I could just body crash John into those birds to kill them, I quickly learned that being able to harvest them without a knife was a convenience that only the cranes provided. And remember what I said earlier about how the temperature mod might not be a problem since I'm in a warm climate? Yeah, that was too hopeful, and it is a problem. When the temperature gets below 80 or so, naked John can't really handle it. But all that mod does is quickly sap his stamina core, which isn't a big deal. However, another feature of my own survival mod is that a drained stamina core will make the health core decay even faster. So what this means is that even if I do eat some of my meat to restore my core slightly, the temperature mod quickly ravages my stamina core, and then an unhealthy synergy kicks in which makes John die in a matter of minutes. And so what that means is that anytime I kill a bird that isn't a crane, I need to physically grab its carcass and run off with it before John dies to make use of the kill. So as I worked on building a food stash, I just stuck to the swamps on the northeast end of city limits, as along this corridor there are several campfire sites that I can use to warm John's naked little bottom and cook his game without having to run to the butcher between every kill. And when I would journey to the butcher to sell feathers and whatnot, as I have a limited satchel space, I would immediately take that cash to the general store next door and convert it into canned goods so I didn't lose half of it on my next inevitable death. Damn it! My $3! So this is how it went for a long while, slamming in the birds, and then roasting them on an open fire. I even mixed it up a little by stomping a turret, but let me tell you, without a knife to butcher it and be on my way, it totally wasn't worth it, as I could only slowly walk while carrying this big dinosaur thing. And then it only provided one piece of meat, as many calories as a single stomped toad. Boar just killed one for me. Don't mind if I do. But soon enough I had a decent supply of food acquired, so I needed to start building up enough cash to buy my first piece of clothing to help slow down the death due to weather process. So around and around I went, smushing birds, plucking birds, and then, oh my god, what is this? A rat party! After the rat party and some tasteful looting of this passing by train, I thought it was time for a mass sell-off and hoped to clear enough cash to buy some clothing. I grabbed a 3-star heron for the road and returned to the butcher.
You selling that prize?
The sell-off yielded me $14.74, which was enough for the first predetermined article of clothing. Gloves! And this only took me 2 hours of effort.
Over here, fella.
Bonjour.
Give me your money, mister.
Please, no.
I'll hurt you. The money.
Okay, just take it.
Robbing this man with my new gloves got me over the $5 mark, which would have been enough money for a tie, but alas, that tie was not the next piece that the bot had chosen for me. I met Charles Chat Relay, and after a moment of magic hair restoration, John was given a sketch. I returned John to his perfect hairless state and sold that sketch, some snake oil I had robbed, and a cigarette card which I had found that got me up to $11.14. Still not enough for the next piece of clothing. Then I moseyed John's bare bottom to the general store and sold that bait that I had looted off the train. And rejoice! The additional $1 from that sale got me enough cash to buy the next piece. Some chaps! But before making way to the tailor, John got really enthralled by this weathercock next to the general store, and by the time he was able to break the trance it had cast over him, it was too late and the tailor would have been closed. So he did the most logical thing he could think of doing. Gamble! Oh? Were you expecting a plot twist where John lost a bunch of his money and couldn't buy his chaps?
Yes!
Well, think again, because he walked away from that table 30 cents richer. But it was still the middle of the night, so he wandered some more and came across the barkeep needing help with rats.
The whole saloon's overrun with rats. I'm losing business left and right.
So sure, why not pass the time with yet another rat party? Every kicked rat is another future meal. And boy howdy, there sure are a lot of rats to kick in here. But the joy of kicking rats turned into a panic. For John was out of food, and the last stinking rat wouldn't get off the counter. Normally one could just stab or shoot this rat, but since John had neither a knife nor firearms, there wasn't much he could do. His fist just wouldn't work in this situation, and He perished from starvation while fighting rats, and with it went half the money he needed to buy those new chaps. On respawn, he quickly made it to a campfire and started cooking up those kicked rats so he wouldn't starve again and lose even more money. Once he was topped up on rat meat, a quick venture into the swamp to smash a 3-star sandhill crane, and then a swift sprint back to the butcher was all he needed to once again afford his chaps.
Why are you doing this? No, no!
I've never seen anything like that before.
I have no clue what just happened there.
Careful.
A great and wonderful event is happening in Chelonianism. It is quite wonderful. Can I tell you more?
Sure. Why not?
The world is coming to an end. I am so happy. A new master has arrived and he is leading those who know to safety. I plan on joining him myself. Oh, he's in the hills, near Granite Pass. It's not too late.
Sure, buddy. Maybe in some other world where I'm allowed to leave Saint Denis. Jackass.
Morning.
Just come along.
You knew this was gonna happen, right?
After serving his time in the slammer for that accidental trespass, John was back down to $0. I started hunting again to earn some coins, but the current inefficient system of slamming into herons and spoonbills and running them all over town, deciding if they would become cash or food, was starting to get a bit tiresome. I needed to be able to field dress them to get all the parts without having to haul around the carcasses. So what I needed to do was acquire a knife, and as far as I know, there is only one way to get a knife in Saint Denis. I needed to hunt me a vampire. I found the 5 clues to map out the vampire location, but it was still daylight out, so I had time to kill. And while killing that time, some of Martelli's men started to get a bit mouthy.
Look at this piece of shit here. Hey, mister.
See? Talk like that ain't so respectful.
John wasn't having any of that, so a fight broke out.
You piece of shit. What the?
Guess Martelli's got something in his teeth.
John knocked them both out, and for his efforts, he was rewarded a pair of double-action revolvers. And don't worry, red dots when I aim at them mean they are still alive. But now those birds won't know what hit them. Pew, pew, pew. Night had fallen, and it was time to get that knife off the vampire. I went to the alley, and the bro was right where he was supposed to be.
So, you found me.
You're a goddamn idiot.
I'll suck you dry.
And suck John dry he didn't, as the new revolvers roared and John claimed his knife. Now 2 notes of interest here. 1. Normally in Red Dead you'll never be without the hunting knife, and so it seems that the hunting knife is actually the only blade in the game coded to allow you to skin animals. So to continue the roleplay that I'm skinning with the vampire's ornate dagger, I had to give John back his hunting knife. And second, up until Martelli's men cocked off on John, I was expecting to take that vampire on via a fist fight. But as we saw, some old Red Dead habits die hard and I lit him up with those new revolvers. Now some might argue he was actually a centuries-old monster and not a role-playing human, but he did die to a few lousy bullets to the tum-tum, which according to the vampire lore I'm aware of,
it's highly dangerous. It's a good thing you're bulletproof.
that shouldn't happen. And some might argue it was in self-defense. But self-defense doesn't bypass my no murder rule, so John killed a person, and the rules are the rules, so... But really, it only cost him like 90 cents, so it was totally worth it, as now John could just mercilessly blast plume-based birds all day and just skin them right out in the field. So that's what he did. And a mere 25 minutes after vomiting about the vampire, he was sitting on $23. Would this be enough for the next piece of clothing? No. But I did have a few pocket watches that I earned via fisticuffs with a group of Lemoyne Raiders, so off to the fence I went. And after some sales, I was up to $33, and this was enough money to buy boots. But I had about $20 more in pocket watches that I didn't sell, so why not take a risk and sell them as well, and see if I have enough left over to immediately buy the next piece after the boots. Save me a trip and all, you know?
Sure, I'll take a look.
Hey, careful.
I bought the boots and had $26 remaining.
Once you try that one on, you'll know for sure.
Okay, $26. Pants, pants, pants. Fancy pants! I cannot express how relieved I am to finally have pants. No needing to motion track John's naked little behind or Ken-like smooth crotch mound anymore. Yes! But I still have $16 left. Mr. Modbot, can I please have another? Well, it was a good run while it lasted.
Great. Thanks.
With new kicks and new pants, I celebrated the way we all do in such a situation. By by punching a cop and then escaping into the wilds to avoid being arrested. Woo. I was going to keep my little crime streak going and rob this man when the game crashed. Once returned to the world, I spent some time shooting some more birds to get a few more dollars towards the next clothing piece. But the thing about the mod that is dictating my outfit is that I did make it smart enough to know what I've already purchased, but I didn't make it smart enough to retain what piece it chose next if the game restarts. So when I randomly hit the button to check my status, those $16 were now enough for more clothes! But as it was nighttime and the tailor wasn't open, I once again gave into the vice of gambling. And this time it paid off even more. John left the table the following morning $3 richer. Woo! Surely the tailor is open by now.
John Marston.
Miss Tilly.
That's Mrs. Tilly to you. How are you?
I'm okay. How are you?
After being stalled by Mrs. Tilly, I bought the vest and John's nipples were now hidden from the world. Huzzah. So now that John had both a knife and some guns, and looked like a totally sleeveless badass, it was time to settle an old score.
Please, I need help here.
Rats is something I might be able to help you with.
Oh, thank God.
Alright, I'll hide on the counter this time, rat boy. Oh.
Well, shit. Hey, mister, you earned this, that's for sure.
You got it.
Once the retribution was achieved, the friendly barkeep rewarded John with $25, which was plenty of money to buy the next part of his outfit, which was the shirt. Thank God.
I have to say, that looks just fantastic on you.
Now, if gaining pants protected my sanity during the editing part of this video, gaining the shirt protected my sanity during the gameplay aspect of making this video. for it is the last piece of clothing that I needed to acquire that can only be removed via mods, and having John's hair and clothing change on me to do the mod outfit fuckery, I'm so glad I can just manage the outfit in-game now. But buying the shirt made John's hair reappear again, so I had to give him one last proper in-game shave for continuity. But on to more important things. I haven't killed an alligator yet during this adventure. There wasn't a point in doing so for a long time as I couldn't skin them, and the double action revolvers aren't exactly good weapons for the job. But during this run, something has happened which is the first for me on any of these region locks. I found a recipe pamphlet for poison throwing knives. Remember, this is a very bare bones epilogue save where I don't know anything. But also on top of finding that recipe, I also secured some throwing knives off those Lemoyne Raiders I fist fought, and then found some needed sage in the swamp to the west of Saint Denis. So hell's bells, I can actually craft something powerful enough to let me bag a 3-star gator. Say goodnight, Mr. Alligator. Is that how they say it in French? 3-star gator secured, and oh shit, it's outside the boundary. There was no way I could skin it before I died from the voices, and I don't have a lasso to reel it in. But then I saw something I wanted to kill even more. A damn dirty stickhead! Go get him, John! God damn that carriage! Damn that carriage! Well, the deer escaped, so John vented on some herons. But what is this? A new gator has appeared where I was standing mere moments ago? Don't mind if I do! I ran the perfect gator pelt to the butcher, and between it and its teeth, I only pulled in $3.90. Meh. But the full stack of big game meat was much appreciated. But I also sold off all the rat pelts and bird bits I had on hand, which brought me up to $35. And this was enough to buy a fancy hat to keep John's bald head from getting sunburned. Huzzah!
Well, pardon my saying, but you look right handsome in that.
I also had enough left over for the tie. We are getting so damn fancy around here. So fancy that John went and explored the dump for a while. And can you believe that someone just threw away a perfectly good horse? Crazy. Garbage horses aside, all John had left to buy before he could make his escape were suspenders, spurs, and jacket. $44 worth of clothing, so it was back to the grind.
The real man makes his own luck.
I went back to the swamp and kicked a bird for old time's sake, and then smushed a muskrat under the heels of these new boots. Then I was trying to guesstimate if this 3-star gator was out of bounds or not when I noticed a man in need. Now I don't really give 2 squirts of shit about this man, but I picked him up and took him to the doctor anyway because I correctly assumed there would be a cash reward for me in it. And John got some free entertainment watching the doctor remove his arm. The cash reward was enough to afford spurs for the outfit. John ran to the tailor, and much to his delight, the tailor hadn't closed up shop yet.
That is one of my favorites.
Please shut up with all that noise.
You ain't the first to pick on me.
It's like torture.
So I've been enjoying burning away the night hours by relaxing with some friendly poker playing. But after buying those spurs, John only had $3.82 when he needed $5 to join in the game. The shops were closed, so I couldn't sell anything, so I guess we'll have to get the money by, asking for donations.
All right, partner. Money.
Hey, leave me alone.
Shut up and pay up. Quick.
Okay, have it.
The old man only gave me 57 cents. Still not enough.
You're dead now, you know that!
I'm just an old
Oh, Christ! Oh, no!
The next donor wasn't as willing to hand over his donations, so I had to entice him a bit. But his 83-cent donation gave me enough money to buy into some poker, and by morning after a night of cards, John had profited $1.90. Woo!
Yep, I'll call it there.
I took a stroll and bought some ammunition with that prize money. And then I realized I had enough left to buy the suspenders. Not that it mattered much as we can't see them with the vest on. Pfft. There was a commotion near the gallows, so John went to investigate. It appears that the one-armed man that John saved got up to no good and killed a woman.
Kinda makes me hungry watching that.
What, bro? Jesus Christ. But the point of interest about this event is that the sheriff had a really nice gun. So, why not try to take it?
That's it, bro.
Haha, got you, repeater. Haha, got your rifle.
Oh, God.
I want him down! Ow! Move! Bastard!
This is bad.
I wasn't sure if I was going to be able to escape that situation without dying, but here we are. And it looks like John may have earned a new scar in the process. But woo! Now I have a rifle.
I know you piece of shit. You look like...
How about I take that belt off your hand? Damn fine work here.
You look like... Wait a goddamn minute, it's you! You look like... Wait a goddamn minute, it's you!
It ain't that
You
bad,
look like...
okay?
Wait a goddamn minute, it's you! You better watch yourself now. You look like... Wait a goddamn minute, it's you!
Just
You look
calm
like...
down.
Wait a goddamn minute, it's you!
It's me.
That attitude's gonna get you killed.
That's enough.
You
now.
look like... Wait a goddamn minute. It's you. You better watch yourself now.
Let off that
You look
steam,
like-
all right?
Wait a goddamn minute. It's you. That attitude's gonna get you killed.
I think this cop is broken. Bye.
You look like... Wait a goddamn minute. It's you. You look like... Wait a goddamn minute. It's you. You look like... Wait a goddamn minute. It's you.
So around this time, I started to notice a glitch happening where things I was picking up weren't actually appearing in my satchel. I restarted the game to see if this would fix it, and it did, but the restart also took away my newly earned long arms. Ugh. Well, I guess it doesn't matter much for this playthrough, so I'll just have to take out any stickheads that dare to set foot in city limits the old-fashioned way. Finally ridding the world of that evil made John feel good, so he went for a walk that night looking to do some good when he heard a commotion.
Get away from her!
What did we do?
Now I'm calling bullshit on this one. John had clearly intervened in time to stop the shooter, so maybe there was a second shooter off in the distance. Or maybe that woman's chest just spontaneously exploded in the bloody goo. But whatever happened, she was good and dead, and the assailant was laid out on the ground knocked out, so I looted him of his belt buckle. Now curiosity got the best of me, so I wanted to see what the man was going to do with her body. He started walking her into this person's yard and went, ugh! But I don't know why this dude is loading her up on a horse when the cemetery is right there across the street. So I decided to be a gentleman and give him a hand. And for some unknown reason, he didn't like that very much and teamed up with his horse to attack John. Well, fine. If he was going to act that way, then John was going to take that Peckerwood's wedding ring in retaliation. But he still had to do the gentlemanly task of giving that woman a proper burial. I was looking for a good plot in the cemetery when these loiterers just assumed I was the one who killed her. And before I knew it, the law was on John. One just can't be a nice guy in Saint Denis, can they? Obviously you can't, so fine. If the people of Saint Denis are going to treat me this way, then it's time to start my own reign of terror, starting with the robbery of this man.
Give me your money, mister.
Are you drunk or something?
Hurry! Now!
I got nothing for you.
Oh, a kitty!
Puss.
I'm just gonna walk away. Real slow.
Hello, cat. Hey there, cat. Cat?
So I was sitting on $15, which wasn't enough to buy the coat yet, but the coat was only $21. And I remembered I hadn't sold that belt buckle and wedding ring, and after unloading those goods, boom! I could afford the coat and complete the outfit. This calls for celebration!
Out of the damn way!
What the hell is going on? What kind of ruffian are you?
Acquiring the coat introduced a new problem not seen since John was naked and hairless. For it seems that the coat is too much for the Saint Denis weather, and now he is once again in a situation where he is too hot instead of too cold, which once again is kicking off that temperature death spiral. But that's easy to fix, as it's time to escape this humid hellhole. And that weathercock is coming with him. Run, John, run!
Open your damn eye.
Oh, this is it, the moment of truth as he approaches the city limits. Damn it! Crushed that his fancy outfit wasn't enough consumerism to satisfy the voices, John dropped his precious weathercock and slunk back off into the city. Not wanting to suffer at the hands of the weather for whatever came next, he removed his coat. And he also removed his vest because, damn it, he paid for those suspenders so the world was gonna see them. But now he didn't know what to do with himself. If that wasn't enough consumerism, then what is? He needed a sign. Holy shite! That was it! He had neglected to consider the absolute biggest purchase one can make in Saint Denis. This little dumb black horse that cost $1,050. Yes! On the back of this beast in his fancy suit is how he shall leave Saint Denis. But he only has $1.60 right now, and damn it, I don't want to earn this money by just killing birds in the swamps over and over like I'm back in the Red Dead Online beta period. So now it is time to unleash that reign of crime terror, and no cat will be stopping it this time.
See? That was easy.
Damn right, John. This is going to be easy. Ugh. So I thought maybe I'd try some tasteful looting instead. Surely a big fancy mansion like this is full of goodies. Sorry, Grandma. Well, all I got of value from that place was a bottle of brandy and some coffee. Kind of a ripoff.
Look at the police over here.
Ah, shit. Just stop!
You look like... Wait a goddamn minute. It's you. You look like... Wait a goddamn minute. It's you. Who the hell do you think you are?
I don't know either. We should ask around.
You don't want to make this hard on yourself.
I surrender. Hey, buddy. Got a gift for you.
No, John. Don't give away any of your money. We need it for that horse. My next thought was to loiter around near the city entrances and rob people who rode in on horses. Made sense to me as horses provide an additional 2 horse pockets to pick, but this didn't feel very efficient for a few reasons. One being that the people riding horses tend to be a bit ornery and have no issues drawing on John. And 2, picking horses' pockets isn't always the safest task in the world. Oh no! 3,
Whoa, none of that.
Come on. What's the matter with you?
I thought maybe when successful, I could go get a good trade-in on a stolen horse. But no! Look at this! $1.20! $1.20 for a whole-ass horse! No wonder someone just threw theirs out earlier. Robbing stores netted a nice little wad of cash, so long as I could outrun the cops, which didn't seem all that hard if I just cut through the back alleys and escaped to the outskirts of the city. So I figured, what the hey, it's time to go for a big score. The gunsmith's back room.
Welcome to Crown.
Jesus, again?
Oh, pardon me, sir.
Sweet Jesus. Hey! Son of a bitch!
Swear.
Sorry.
Quicker.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. All right, here.
I want to see what you got behind that door back there. Now!
Open up, it's me! So there you are.
Where else?
Hey!
So John kinda went and smacked the soul out of the shopkeeper with his pistol. Maybe a bit too hard, as if I aim at the poor dude's body, I don't get the red dot. And if I check the map, it says corpse. Now I know very well that the man will be gifted a resurrection and return to life later, but here and now, he is dead, and the rules are the rules. $9.05 poorer, John continued on to a bigger take.
Now look what you made me do.
Oh my God! Oh, just take the money on the table and open the damn safe.
All right, folks, no need to stick around here. The law's got this.
He managed to loot $65 in cash when the law finally showed up. Time to make another daring escape. Now, I must have left the law mod installed since my roadblock video, because this time the Saint Denis Police Department brought dogs. And thanks to those little shits, I was never able to break the reach of the law, so instead of escaping with my new sack of cash as I had expected,
Give me the money.
What is it?
So what I'm coming to realize is that no matter how good at thievery I think I am, some jerkface will inevitably blast me or tip off the police. And given the frequency in which those events lead to my untimely demise, and with the penalties I'm giving myself in this experiment, is that holding cash is not the optimal play. What I need to do is convert my money into non-cash liquid assets whose value can be shielded from unexpected market volatility as I get up to my antics. What this means is investing in items that I can buy and sell at the shops, i.e. the doctor. But the problem with provisions-based investments is that what I said about 40 minutes ago, I'm playing with the smallest size satchel, so most of those provisions I can only hold 3 of, which is totally not going to protect the cost of that $1,000 horse. But as luck would have it, there is indeed one item which isn't constrained by such paltry limits, and I'm talking about the cigarette cards. There are 144 of those little pieces of art, and John's shitty little satchel can hold up to 5 of each copy. Now these cards resell at the fence for either $1 or $2, which means they can safeguard somewhere between $720 and $1,440. And all I have to do to collect them is earn enough cash to buy a pack of smokes to get one. But the thing is, a pack of premium cigarettes costs $5, so by exchanging cash to cigarette cards, I'm immediately throwing away 2 to 3 deaths worth of value. But to overcome this, I can engage in some tasteful market manipulation. So in order to make the markets more favorable for my investment, I need to juice up John's honor. The honor bar in Red Dead operates on a scale of -320 to +320, and at level 7 or the +280 mark, a perk kicks in where shops will sell their goods to John at a 50% discount. So with that discount, a pack of the good smokes will only lose $1 to $1.50 on cigarette card trade. And also the horse will be half off, saving me a buttload of grind. But now, of the many ways to manipulate honor, the absolute most god-tier way to do it in Saint Denis is to greet the shit out of everyone. Every third person I say "Sir" to gives John 1 honor point, and it looks like he has about 250 points to go. So, hold on. Dude.
Sir? Sir!
Bonjour.
Sir! Sir! It's going.
Quite well.
Sir!
Thank you.
Sir! Officer?
Hey,
Keep up the good work. Sir! 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 Sir!
Hello.
Sir! 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 Hey there, puss. You look like you wouldn't say boo to a goose.
And there we have it. After an hour of just being generally friendly, everything in town is cheap. Now this will bob up and down as I commit my robberies, but that's fine. It's easy to get that back and continue to be a high honor scoundrel in Saint Denis. I'm gonna focus my efforts on straight up muggings from here on out. Now mugging the poors seems to be an exercise in futility, as they only cough up around like 50 cents. And plus, they have a fierce tenacity which meant I often wasn't getting those coins without a time-consuming fistfight getting in the way. Assuming that 7 of their closest friends didn't also join in and overwhelm John. So the real pigs to slaughter here were the wealthy French of Saint Denis. They typically cough up like $3 to $5 cash, and very often they hand over a valuable trinket as well. And their dandy asses never fight to protect their wealth, which saves me a lot of time. Although occasionally someone nearby will step in to play the role of a white knight. Whatever. But here we are. We've reached the end game. The final grind to earn that horse is upon us. Let's go!
No!
You get it?
So I hopped in this dude's wagon, and check it out. He just abandoned his dog with John. What the hell? What am I gonna do with a dog? You can't sell a dog in this game. Ugh.
Will you please stop?
What the hell was going on?
Use your brain!
So I attended Charles Chat Relay's art show, and you would think all these rich people with their big fancy hats would have something good to loot on them, but no, nothing. Absolutely nothing. But at least later when I helped Charles escape out of the city, the people who tried to catch up with him and beat him up then, they had some good shit on him.
You're gonna be missed.
Oh, I punched the horse and got shot.
For me, friend.
Hey, let's not do this, all right?
Oh, shut up. I'll hurt you. The money.
Oh shit, wrong button. Oh, he's dead. Puke it up, John. Puke it up.
Here, take this.
Shit. Okay, I'll take it. Go.
So train robberies are interesting in this mode, because if you don't hurry your ass up, that train is gonna drag you out of bounds and kill you real quick. Jump, John! Woo!
Okay.
What's wrong?
I can't believe the cops just shot that guy's horse! What the fuck?
Enjoy.
Oh, not again. Oh my god.
No!
Oh, shut up. Empty your pockets, too.
Viens! Tu as gagné! Take it!
At one point, some cows got loose, no thanks to my antics. So I decided to play a game where instead of letting John pick his next victim, I let the beast decide for him. No. Nope. Nope.
Oh, mercy, viens de ça.
Yes. Sorry, lady. Don't take it personal. The cow has spoken.
Give it to me.
I ain't gonna miss.
So, it was about 7 real-world hours of grinding, and I think I've reached a point where John might have enough cash tied up in cigarette cards and jewelry to buy this horse. So it is time for a sell-off.
Sure, I'll take a look.
$489 after unloading at the fence. Close, but not the $525 I need. But I still have a bunch of goods the doctor will buy.
There's a lot of desperate folk in Saint Denis, but not one of them gets to steal from me. Come on, take a look.
Jesus, $10 short. Well, no turning back now.
Okay, friend. Open the register right now.
I'm so sick of it.
Stay there!
Not alone.
Your next step
Keep
is
that
into the
mouth
ground.
Help me!
Go!
And just like that, John has all the money he needs to buy that horse meat and GTFO out of Saint Denis. So after returning the form in his fancy outfit, it was off to buy that horse.
This horse is one of the finest in the year.
Finally, after 7 hours of grinding, John was able to purchase his half-price horse. And it only cost him $740 worth of loot, acquired over 136 separate robberies to afford it. And yes, I know this because I kept a spreadsheet. But the time has come. The end of ends. Has John finally committed enough consumerism to break the curse? Well, friends, it appears John has done it. He is free of Saint Denis. But now what will he do with his newfound freedom and newfound horse? Go back to Abigail and Uncle? Raid all the pickled eggs in Valentine? Or maybe...
A new master has arrived and he is leading those who know to safety. He's in the hills near Granite Pass. It's not too late. I've been trying to warn everyone, but...
We alone shall be saved. We are Chelonians. Follow me, sir. Follow me. Chelonia!